I'm in my 20s. What are things I should be considering as I get older, as my career progresses? I'm flowing through the 20s. What would set me up well in my 30s if I started in my 20s now?
Building a 3 to 6 month emergency fund would be my first suggestion. Uh, and the reason for that is, you know, there's going to be lots of things that come our way, a lot of different obstacle challenges that can derail our plan. So we build a plan, great, but we got to protect that plan. And one of the ways you protect your plan is having a emergency savings. It's not easy to do, especially in today's world where everything costs, an arm and a leg, and it doesn't look like anything's getting cheaper, right? But it's still important to put something away, right? And I've talked many times before about automating, your savings, and you can automate your savings for your emergency savings as well. So create a 3 to 6 month emergency fund. And what I mean by 3 to 6 months is 3 to 6 months of your monthly income, whatever that is. So whatever your monthly income is, multiply it by three, and that's what you want your target to be. You're not going to get there right off the bat, but that's what you want your target to be. Um, Another thing that is really important for a young adult is avoiding high interest debt. It's so easy to get into. I think most of us, if we remember, when we were in university or college, uh, you know, there'd be these, and I'm not naming specific organizations, but you get credit card companies there on campus, and they'd be like, here, you want to sign up for a credit card, you get a free box of craft dinner, or you get a T-shirt, or a hat, or whatever it is, right? And here's your credit card, and that's how the trap begins, right? And you start getting three, four, five different credit cards, and it just starts piling up. And with the high interest debt, you're never going to pay it off. You get the credit card statement that says if you pay just the minimum amount, you're good. But then if you read the fine print, if you pay just the minimum amount, it's going to take you 27 years to pay off this $500, credit debt, right? So you're never paying it off. So one of my, biggest piece of advice to someone in their 20s is be very careful with high interest debt. Uh, Start investing early. Again, even small amounts matter, right? Get into the habit. Automate it. Have it automatically move every paycheck, a little bit of money, $50 a month, whatever it is, $25 a month, whatever it is, and have it automatically go into a separate account.
Into savings or like an ETF, or like what would you say?
Yeah, so there are different options. You can put into like just a bank savings account. You can put into what's called a tax-free savings account. A tax-free savings account is widely misunderstood still. It's been around since 2009. It's possibly one of the greatest investment inventions, has been created in Canada, and it's significantly underutilized. Uh, Tax-free savings account, it's not just meant for daily high interest savings. You can invest almost anything in the tax-free savings account. And it grows tax-free, and you pull it out tax-free. It's liquid. You can pull it out. There's no penalties for pulling money out. It's just one of the best investment vehicles out there. So for most clients, I would recommend, when you're putting money away for an emergency fund, put into a tax-free savings account. There are conditions with it in terms of how much you can contribute, which we get into. But that's a great place to put, or like I said, a savings account, a high interest savings account as well. But you have options on where you want to put that money, but just automate it so you don't have to worry about it. It's just automatically moves from one account to the other, every paycheck, every month, whatever you want. Uh, on Going back to the topic of high interest credit, I say avoid high interest debt, but I'm not saying avoid debt altogether. There is a difference, believe it or not, between good debt and bad debt. Okay. And you want good debt to build your credit history so that you can qualify for a mortgage down the road. I say that tongue in cheek, housing, if you can even afford a house, that's a tricky thing. That's a whole other conversation to be had. But there is benefit to building a strong credit history. Especially when you get into more advanced planning where you're leveraging, which I won't get into today. But there are different techniques for that. But you need to have a good credit score for that.
Essentially, we're telling the bank that we're good for the money.
Yeah,
We're good borrowers.
yeah, exactly. Good borrowers. It will definitely help with being offered lower interest debt solutions as well, lower interest credit solutions, and then learn how taxes work. That's an important one. I think our education system could do a better job. Financial literacy. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit more of that in different school boards and whatnot, in Ontario specifically. Um, there's going to be more and more emphasis on that, which is great. It's long overdue. You know, financial literacy is something that should be taught, even in the elementary school system before you get to high school, but definitely by the high schools. By the time you're in high school, you should learn how to file your taxes, learn how to manage money, manage debt. Don't leave it to college and university to do that. You want to learn those tricks and tips before that.